Okay. Good morning, everybody, and welcome back. Today we're finishing off the mini bike project. Now, we started out as the pink mini bike, and as you can see here, it was just a complete disaster. It was a mess. But we've got all the parts, and currently it's a blue mini bike, and it looks like it came from IKEA. It's 100 parts and no instructions. But I'm planning on riding this thing this afternoon. So, all you new people out there, go ahead and subscribe. It's free, and we appreciate it. And let's get started. So we're going to start off by getting the tree in place. Because without the tree, the rest of the project just isn't much fun. Let's see, which way does the weight go? The weight goes this way. Now we got brand new bearings in here, so this thing should be smooth as anything. See, once we got the top tree on, we can start on the fun part. Of course, it fits really tight, but if it wasn't tight, it wouldn't be any good. See, super smooth. Okay, let's grab ourselves a handful of tools. There we go. Now we're going to have to get a whole lot tighter than that. Let me switch my wrenches. There we go. Whoa. Nice and tight. That's what we like to see. Now that we've got the front end together, let's go ahead and put some wheels on. Now you've got two bushings that come with the back wheel, and notice that they're different widths, and they're different widths for a reason. It's so you can space out the brake later. But we know on this one that the brake requires the big bushing on this side. So let's get the wheel in place. Okay, you sit there for 1 second while I get the other bushing ready. There we are. Slide that bushing in and stick the tire on. I'll tell you, the only way to describe this is buying a mini bike from IKEA. This is exactly the kind of mess you'd have. Okay, we're not tightening up anything until we get close to the end. Now when we spin it, we watch our discs and everything looks nice and straight, so we don't have to worry about either this or the brake disc being bent or anything. So let's move over to the front tire. Okay, now for the front wheel. Let's stick you guys on. Front uses much longer bushing, so it's a little trickier. And we want to make sure the tires spin in the direction we want the tire to spin. And looking at this, I think I want to put another bushing on before we're done here. So I'll pick up some more of these when I go pick up the cotter pins. Now the next thing we'll do is put the controls on. We're saving the seat for the very last, only because it's tender. And as we do these parts, it starts looking like an actual mini bike. Well, it'll look most like one once we have a motor in it, of course. Okay, there you go. We want this to be right even with our thumb, right about there. So if something goes wrong, we can kill it easily. Just like that. Let's tighten these bad boys down. Very nice. Now one of the tricks to this one, on the other hand grip, is if it won't go on easily, put hairspray inside it. Put hairspray and it lubricates it, and then when it dries, it'll stick for sure. But since I don't have any hairspray in my pocket, we'll put that off for a few minutes. Okay, possibly the most exciting part of the whole thing, getting the motor in place. We got a brand new motor and 4 brand new bolts to bolt it with. And hopefully we can do this without scratching it up too much. Let me trade sides with you. Now just a little bit of gentle tightening and we've got a motor. And I'll tell you what, she looks a lot more like a mini bike than she did earlier. Okay, now we're going to put our accelerator cable on. We're going to come around and under with that one. Gee, I wonder if that bolt's a 10 millimeter. Like every other bolt on these little engines. There we go. We're going to loop our cable around. And most of the time these don't fit. Let's see if it fits this time. We got these little lead weights that come on these, don't fit in the hole, usually. And this one doesn't. So let's get the torch out and get this lead weight to go away. Yeah, let's get the camera the heck away from the heat. There we go. Get the gloves going. Now I don't want to cut this cable, because if I cut the cable, then the end will fray. This doesn't take nearly as long as you might think it would. As soon as you see it change shape even a little bit, you just rub it off. There it is right there. And there you go. You got a pretty hot cable, but it's still got the lead holding the shape of the cable. So let's get her in place. Of course, playing with the freshly crazy hot cable, I'm going to use pliers instead of fingers. And there you have it. She's through. So now we'll put this cable where we want it, which is nice and quietly wrapped around everything and hidden. Tighten our base first. Now we're going to pull on this to make sure that we hit the right length, because we don't want a dead spot on the accelerator, and then let it go back to neutral. or to idle, I should say. Okay. And we've got an accelerator. Okay, next up is the brake lever. It's a lot of fun to take off, but sometimes it's really great to stop. Where's my other hand grip bit? There we are. Okay. Let's get the brake the correct amount of inboard. Right about there should do it. Right about there. Brakes on a mini bike are famously bad, but any brakes are better than nothing. And we line up pretty good and we're not binding anywhere. Might need to do a little adjusting here and there, but we shouldn't have to do much. This looks like an 8. No? Gee, it's a 10. Are you surprised? And there we have it. Our brakes are in place. Let's see if they stop us. And they even stop it. Very nice. So now we're going to put a tie strap here, and we're going to run this along the frame rail. It's starting to resemble a mini bike. She's looking pretty good right now. So we've got this on really loose. It's just sort of sitting there. That's just for comparison. So we're going to wrap the chain around and get it to the point where it's out in the open. At least we're going to try to. There we go, close enough. I already cut this chain down to the right size. At least I think I did. It's going to be really close. Try to make it as tight as possible, because since it's a brand new chain, it's going to stretch out and loosen pretty quick. So now I'll put you here. I'm going to loop it through and tighten the chain up. And you see what I'm saying? She's really, really, really tight right now. But it won't be for long. Once this thing's run a few miles, this chain might even need links taken out. Let me go ahead and get this wheel out of the way. Let's pull it up. We've got an extra link here. I was wondering, it seemed like it was tighter than it should be. There we go. I was sitting there thinking, why is that so tight? Pretty good at cutting chains. Now we'll put the master link on. Go something like that and that. Oh, and I love that little clicky noise. Okay, chain's done. So let's put the wheel back on. Now it's important that you get this groove in just the right spot on the wheel. or it'll just be a mess. And you've got two bushings. Where'd they go? Nope. Okay. Now for this, we're going to go ahead and get this in place. Put a little nut on. And yeah, I'll cut the tie strap off before we try to go anywhere. We're going to start the bolt through here. Now we'll try the little one first and see how it lines up. So you can use the different size bushings on the inside, and you can also flip this to make sure that she's lined up just right on the chain. This chain might be too tight to put it on originally. Nope, she's going on okay. I think we're finally ready to go. We've got a new motor, new tires, new seat, new controls, and everything on the bike is absolutely perfect. I've been over this thing top to bottom with a fine-tooth comb over the last day, and she's ready for a test drive. So let's see if she works. This will be the first ride for me also, so wish me luck. Okay, hopefully you can see what I'm doing. Let's turn her on, full choke. Well, she's a little cold. Sounds like she's a little cold-blooded. Okay, now she's ready to run. Let's go for a ride. That's pretty cool. That's what a mini bike's all about. She's not particularly fast, but she's fast enough. And that's her top end right there. I'd say we're probably going 25 miles an hour. Don't need much more than that. And that GoPowerSports motor sounds pretty cool. I'd call that a success. That's as fast as she'll go right there. I could turn the governor up and go a little faster, but there's no reason. That thing runs perfect. I'm afraid I might have a new favorite toy. Now I'm in this one pretty deep because we replaced almost everything. I think I'm gonna have to keep this one for my own because I do have one that I'm getting ready to make the next mini bike project. After I finish this one up, we've got this old guy sitting in the corner waiting his turn. And that's probably, I don't know how old it is, but it's definitely the oldest one that I've gotten my hands on so far. So I think we're going to play with him next. Now that's a pretty awesome little mini bike. It's got plenty of acceleration and it's got enough top end. It goes about 25 miles an hour. And on something that little, how fast do you really want to go? It's got tiny little tires. So thanks for watching, everybody. And go ahead and subscribe if you're new here. We'll see you next time.